My name is Darren Kurilko with LinkedIn Lead Ninja, and today we're just going to talk really briefly. There's so much to talk about, but really briefly, how to get yourself 3 to 5 leads, warm leads, a week using LinkedIn as a prospecting platform. We've actually built a complete business around this, and we help train. We help do for our clients to get them those leads. And I'm going to show you the strategy for you to do it yourself. Really, what it comes down to. There's no secret. Well, there is some secret. There is some secret sauce, and I'll show it to you later on. And it's really going to be the messaging. But before we get into the messaging, what we really need to do is figure out a few basic things. So I just wanted to kind of introduce myself. This is my profile on LinkedIn. Feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. And what we do is we bridge the gap between LinkedIn and lead generation. That's our goal, and that's what I do for myself. And really how we got into this business is I was doing it for myself, and I started rolling it out to my clients, and then we really just built a business around it. So again, we link, no pun intended, LinkedIn and lead ninja and lead generation by using our methods, and we're going to kind of get into that in a second. So my name of my company is B2b Prospecting Group, and one of the arms of that is LinkedIn Lead Ninja. And feel free to Google that. Please wait till after the presentation. I don't want you to miss anything, but we do have free training on there as well. So really, how to get 3 to 5 leads a week using LinkedIn as a prospecting platform. Great question. And really, before we address that, I want to tell you who this webinar is for. If your business depends on B2b sales, business-to-business sales, clients, customers, this is the right webinar. If your future depends on B2B sales, clients, and customers, stay put. If you solve a real problem for your target market, and your target market is on LinkedIn, we're going to show you how you can turn that target market into real prospects. Really, people ask me all the time, well, Darren, what's a good market for you to go after, using your systems? And I tell them this: if you can solve a real problem for your target market and your target market is on LinkedIn, this works for you. We can make it work for you. So if that is you, stay put. Really, what we're going to do in the next 30 minutes or so, and is I haven't timed this out, so it's going to be around 30 minutes, so just bear with me, is really how to optimize. Number one, how to optimize your profile to convert lookers into high quality B2B leads. We want to make sure you have a good, solid profile before we get started. Then we're going to build a powerful, accurate searches of your ideal client using Sales Navigator. And we're going to look at Sales Navigator, and I'm going to show you, we're going to build out a real search and show you how that works. And how to connect and engage with your target to produce warm to hot calls every week, every day, and consistently. And really, this is the secret sauce. This is where we're always making adjustments for our clients, for ourselves. It's always tweaking and changing as needed the messages, and we'll talk about that a little bit further. So let's dive right into it, if that's okay. The first thing we want to talk about is your profile. And when we take on a new client, or I'm teaching or training or coaching, we want to do first is make sure your profile is in tune to your target market. Your profile is your social proof for all the world to see. You need to make it shine. You need to make it pop. Now, some profiles don't need much work, but others need a complete makeover. No matter your profile's current condition, your profile needs to attract and inform your target market about exactly what you do and why they need you with a call to action. And we're going to take a look at that in a second as well. Some of the items you should focus on, and we're really going to talk about not the extent, there's so many things you can do to your profile, but the real things that we're going to focus on are your banner, custom banner. Not everybody has one, and I would recommend that you get one. Summary rewrite. That summary can be 2,000 characters or less, according to LinkedIn, so you want to stay inside those guidelines. Professional headshot, do's and don'ts. Okay, we definitely I highly recommend a professional headshot, and other adjustments as needed, like making sure all your contact info is up to date, all the links work, etc. And let's just take a look. I'm just going to share my browser here. This is going to be my my profile right here. So what we've done and what we do for our clients is we actually bring in any logo or branding, any information as well, any bullet points. We want to make sure that that your profile banner just kind of tells a little bit about you, make it pop. Now I know I preach and teach to get a professional headshot. I know mine probably could use a makeover itself. You know, I'm always the last one to get stuff done on my personal profile, but make sure you have a professional headshot, and then of course your summary, which is going to be right below your head. Your headshot. Now, before we get to that, really, you need to also make sure your title is updated. It's very clear when somebody reads, sees your headshot, your banner, your title, they know exactly what you do. There's no confusion. As they scroll down, they can see exactly what they can see your summary, how you solve their problem. And what we do as for our summary rewrites is we lay them out like this. What's the problem your target market has? Now, for my target market, they're not really sure how to use LinkedIn, not enough consistent leads, not sure how to consistently prospect on LinkedIn for new business. And then, of course, we offer a solution. We have training and coaching, prospecting action plans, the done-for-you services. I'm not trying to pitch my services, but this is how you should be writing your summary. Outline the problem of your target market, and then present the solution. You're the expert, and you solve all their problems. You're the aloe for their sunburn. And then, of course, always a call to action. Schedule a time. Give me a call, email me, whatever it is you do, make it clear for people what to do after you tell them how you solve their problems. So very important you get this right. Now, also on your profile, you're going to have contact and personal info. Make sure all your links work. You can put multiple websites here. Make sure everything works. Make sure you have the right phone number. Make sure your email is there. Don't make it a mystery on how to contact you, okay? So you want to make sure these things are right. So just kind of recap, we want to make sure you have a custom banner. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. I'm going to show you a tool in a second on how to do that. Headshot, it needs to be done either professionally or it needs to look professional for sure. And then, of course, your summary rewrite, problem, solution, call to action, always. Now, I'm going to show you some do's and don'ts on some profile pictures. You do not want to take a picture like this, not professional. Think of this as, again, as your social proof. And when people land on it, they want to make sure, they want to see you as the professional. So make sure your profile photo doesn't look like this, even though these hearts are very sweet. And I'm sure this guy is a very nice guy, but don't make that your profile picture. Antonio here, bless his heart, but don't take a picture like this and post it or put it on your profile. I enjoy a beer now and then, and I love the beach, but definitely don't make this your profile picture. And I need to mention also, no photo at all is probably worse than having a bad photo. So make sure you have a professional photo. It really says a lot about who you are and how seriously you take your business. The other thing is that I'm going to give you a free tool. This is just a free tool on how to design a stunning LinkedIn banner for your profile. Actually, if you go to Canva, canva.com, you'll be able to find this, and you can do this on your own. Of course, you certainly can outsource this, and I use a guy on Fiverr.com or Upwork. Any kind of graphics person can help you with this, okay? So let's go back to the slide. So make sure your profile's in tune. Think of this as, again, your social proof. Think of this as your landing page. When people connect with you on LinkedIn, this is where they're going. Make sure this is in tune. Make sure there's no grammatical errors. Make sure everything looks good. All the links work. It really says a lot about who you are, okay? Moving on, we're talking about finding your target market on LinkedIn, and that's going to be using Sales Navigator. We're gonna go there in a second, but Sales Navigator is you're able to use 22 different filters to really fine-tune your search, so you can find your target and engage with them. Now, example I have here is if you sold dental equipment to dentists in the USA, your natural target would be dentists and dental offices in that geo-specific area. What's great about Sales Navigator, you're able to dial in using postal codes. We call them zip codes in the US, but you can dial into a 10-mile radius around your postal code, which is a pretty tight circle. But you also can search across the globe. So if you're, I sit here in Southwest Florida. I'm just south of Tampa, in a town called Venice. I can search for people on LinkedIn that are in Venice specifically. Very powerful. So we're going to show you how to identify your target on LinkedIn for any vertical, and then what we're going to move into is nurturing and messaging them to get engagement and get them interested. So let's go ahead, excuse me, and just jump into Sales Navigator, and I'm going to show you how it works. I'm so sorry. So from your LinkedIn profile or or your home page or whatever it is, if you are subscribed to Sales Navigator, you're going to see this little icon right here, this little compass. This Sales Navigator is actually designed for prospectors. It's designed for sales professionals. Now, you may be eligible for a 30-day free trial with this. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to get it from your profile. If you slide all the way down, you're going to see in the footer it says Sales Solutions. When we click that, we're going to be taken to a page that looks exactly like this, and this is basically where you would sign up for a free trial, or if you're not eligible for a free trial, it'll tell you so. So I highly recommend, if you don't do anything, is do the free trial and poke around in Sales Navigator after I show you obviously how to best use it. But we're only going to have time to go over a few things. So there's so many different features in here that we can use. So, all right, so let's go into Sales Navigator. And once you're in Sales Navigator, it's going to look a lot like this. Now, LinkedIn in the first quarter, actually the fourth quarter of last year, really announced that they're going to be pushing people into Sales Navigator. They're going to take away a lot of the search criteria out of the basic, out of the business, and they want people to use Sales Navigator. And so they're pouring a lot of resources into it. They're making changes. They just redid the user interface inside of Sales Navigator. So be wary that that's where LinkedIn wants you to go, and it is a great tool. I've been using it for over 2 years, and I teach on it. I show people how to use it, and I'm going to show you guys as well. So again, a lot of features here. We're just going to touch on a few. So with that said, what we're going to do first is we're going to just do a quick search, and I'm going to show you some of the search criteria. If you are in Sales Navigator, you want to search for leads, clicking this. Now, before I go into it, right, I just wanted to mention too that Sales Navigator works in tandem with LinkedIn. It's a completely different platform. So when you do click on the Sales Navigator button, you're taken to a completely different platform, but it works with LinkedIn, just to be clear on that. So let's go ahead and search for leads, and I'm going to just show you how to build a search now. I'm just going to build a very generic search, but I want to show you some of the search criteria. I know that I said before there's 22 filters. Some of them are keywords, geography, relationship. Now, typically, I'm only after second and third degree connections because I'm always looking to make new connections using LinkedIn. School you went to, your years in your position, title. So some of the things I focus on are really our geography, and like I said, you can search very specifically state. I can do Tampa, St. Petersburg area, Orlando area, Miami area, or any city area, or I can do the whole United States. So it really depends on how big your market is. Now, let's just say you're going after sales managers, just as an example. Sales managers in the United States, we're at 870,000. Now, you want to keep your searches fairly smaller than this. This is a large list. So what we'll do is we'll dial into, let's just dial into I live just south of Sarasota, Florida, so let's just do Sarasota, Florida, and you can see this is a more manageable list. So what we'll do is, let me just show you one more thing before we get into it, and it is going to be the postal code. I'm going to put in my code, and we're going to go 10 miles around my postal code, and you can see 10 miles around where I sit right now, there's 260 sales managers. So you can really, like I said, dial into this, or you can go the entire globe. If you leave this unchecked, it's going to search LinkedIn for the exact number, and that's going to be, well, 2.8 million. So I encourage you to poke around here and just build your ideal search, whatever that might be. If it's CEOs, great. If it's CPAs, great. And if it's it could be executive assistants. It can be sales executives, executive directors. There's thousands and thousands of titles that you can go after, and really to build your ideal search. Once you build your search, let's go back to this. You really want to be able to talk about develop your messaging. Okay, so anybody can do a profile, anybody can find a list of people to prospect. It's now what do I do? What you're going to do is you're going to build compelling messages that engage your reader to take action through a problem solution called action message flow. We're always, that is our strategy here at LinkedIn Lead Ninja. What's the problem your target market has, how you provide the solution, and then a call to action. Tell the prospect what to do next is what it comes down to. You need to write professional, personalized messages customized to you and your niche, your vertical. Again, no two campaigns are ever the same for us, which is great. And there's really two messages I want to take a look at today. Let me just take a sip of coffee. Thank you. Two messages. The first message is going to be the connect with me message. Okay, we're going to use Sales Navigator to ask to connect to 75 to 125 a day. Yes, that's a lot. And yes, I did say 75 to 125 a day. Now, when starting off with this, maybe you want to do 20 a day, maybe you want to do 30 a day, maybe you want to do 10 a day. But really what you want to do is do something. You want to be prospecting. So I would say start with 10, start with 20, start with 30, and start and build on that. So really what's going to happen here is when we send out, and we do send out 75 to 125, let's just say 100 a day, on average, we're going to see 15 to 30% like clockwork connecting back with us. Now the beauty of this and why we want this is once they connect back with us, we can message them freely. There's no restrictions on how many messages we can send out to them. Now, we're not in the business of spamming. We're not in the business of annoying people. We're in the business of prospecting for business. So this is direct marketing, but we want to also be conversational. We want the messages to look natural. So let's go back. Remember I said there's two messages we're going to focus on today. The first one is the connect with me message, and that is the message we see here where it says sample message. We always want to personalize it with a first name. We're actually going to go through, and I'm going to drop some messages in. You'll see this in real time, but I want to go through the methodology of our messaging first. Excuse me. So for me, let's just say I'm focusing on sales managers right now in Florida. Very simple search, and I'm looking to work with a few sales managers. Definitely call out whoever you're looking to work with. If you're looking to work with executive assistants, then I'm looking to work with executives, or I'm contacting executive assistants. Make it personal. Put their first name. Make it personal. Okay, so a few sales managers like you to generate them consistent lead flow using LinkedIn. If this is you, connect and let's do a quick call. So I'm not bashful of telling them what I want to do. I want to connect with them, and then after I connect with them, I want them to do a quick call, and I get 15 to 20. I'm going to show you the numbers in a second in the next slide, how many people I do. I think it's 24% that are actually connecting with me with this message. Okay, let's go to that slide just real quick. So I want to show you real numbers. This is over the last 2 months. I've asked to connect with 2,600 people. Okay, 636 have actually connected. 534 actually have connected with me, and well, actually more than that, I'm sorry, have gotten a welcome message, and 103 people have responded to that message. That's a 24% invitation rate. That's good. We teach and preach, like I said, 15 to 30 each and every day. So very powerful. So let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at that thanks for connecting message. Remember, I told you that there's two messages. The second one is going to be the thanks for connecting. This is after they connect. We're at 15 to 30%. We send out a thanks for connecting like this. Thanks for connecting. I solved the problem of ABC with XYZ. You have time for a quick call today. That's it. Thanks. I'm going to show you some real messages in a moment here, but you need to determine the pressing problems and pain points of your target market, and then create messaging and highlighting how you offer the solution to their ever-pressing problem. This is crucial, and we follow your solution to the problem with the soft call to action always. Always. So problem, solution, call to action. I want to show you some examples of some messaging. Give me 1 second here. So this is real messaging. This is a real client. Now, this is an example number 1. This is my please connect with me message. It's just what I call it. You can call it whatever you want. Please note, inside of LinkedIn, you can only have 300 characters for this first message only. You can put a URL, you can put a phone number, but you can put an email, but I recommend you don't. Don't distract anybody away from really what you're looking to do, and that's getting them to connect. So first name, after reviewing your profile, I'd like to connect. I'm curious if you're interested in saving 40 to 60% on your current telecom internet service. If so, connect with me here. We're setting the tone. If they're interested in saving, then connect. Once they are connected, we're asking a very short, concise message. Again, you can see that there's no long signature here. There's no, there's no fax machine, cell phone, email. Don't put all that clutter in there. It just screams canned message. You want to make sure your messages are personalized and feel natural, even though you're going to be copy and pasting these. So glad to connect. Glad you connected. Quick question: if I could save you 50% on your current bill from Comcast, CenturyLink, AT&T, and others, would you be interested? Really quickly, we're trying to identify the target, and are they interested in saving money? Now, this message alone is going to get 3 to 5 leads for this particular client, like clockwork, each and every week. Now, I'm going to show you some of the other messages. This is for a lender, business lender, another client of ours. And I'm leaving out the last name just to protect them. But if you need a business loan, feel free to reach out to me. Leslie does a great job. So again, this please connect with me message needs to be 300 characters. After reviewing your profile, I thought I'd reach out to connect. I'm also curious if you have a need for some extra working capital for your business. Short and concise. As they connect, and they will at 15 to 30%. Thanks for connecting. Quick question: are you in need? And you can see the message here. Quick call to action, very short, concise. Somebody can read this message in 2 blinks, really, and it's done. And then, of course, my messages, I want to show you these as well. My messages are really very simple as well. Hey, first name, I'm looking to work with a few sales managers like you to generate them consistent lead flow using LinkedIn. If this is you, connect and let's do a quick call. Thanks, Darren K. That's it. Very short. This gets me, as you saw, 24 or 26% connection rate. And then as they connect, and they will, hi first name, I generate high quality prospects daily for my clients using LinkedIn exclusively. Would you be interested in a quick call? Let me know. So this message right here is getting me, getting 1 to 2 people a day saying, yeah, I'm interested in a quick call. So, and I'm going to just show you a couple messages. I have a few here. Just pull those up. I wanted to show you first off the flow of things. This is Caesar. He hasn't raised his hand and wanted to chat with me, and that's okay. But I wanted to show you what this looks like inside the LinkedIn thread. And the first message is the please connect with me message. We already talked about this. This is the message you're going to send out to ask them to connect. It looks very natural, and it looks, and as they connect with you, we're sending them out the thanks for connecting. Hey, Caesar, I generate high quality prospects daily for my clients using LinkedIn. Would you be interested in a quick call? So you can see that these two messages should complement each other, because really when Caesar looks at his messaging, he's going to start from the top and scroll down. Now, one thing we didn't talk about today, and we're not going to talk, we don't have time to, but is we also have the capacity to keep track of these messages and then basically send them a follow-up if they don't message. Really, my follow-up is, I forgot to attach the link to my calendar. We should probably chat real soon. This gets me at least a couple appointments each and every week. I'm still testing that out, but I wanted to show you just the flow of these messages. Now I want to show you one other message, or one other thread, I should say, and how this works. Hey, Richard, I'm looking at, you know the message, I'm not going to read it. He connected, and he raised his hand. I actually have a call with him today. I can do a call tomorrow afternoon, and really what I'm doing and what you should be doing when you do this is take it offline. You can, if they're looking for more information, great. When's a good time to give you a call? Or find their phone number inside of LinkedIn, and like I did, and said, hey, is this the best number to call you at? I'd like to call you. Is this a good number? And I'm going to show you where to find that real quick. I'll go to Richard's profile, and you should have your phone number on here as well. But if you go to the right side, you can click down, and you can see his phone number is right here. And this is where we've got it. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. Let's go back. So LinkedIn messaging thread, and I showed you that really your messaging is important. Make it look natural. It's not, we're not trying to sell them and put 3 or 4 paragraphs. Just get them to engage. Are you interested in what I've got? Yes or no, and get a response, get engagement, get a conversation started. All right, so let's put all this together. Get your profile in tune to your target market. When your target reads your profile, they should know exactly how you can help them take their pain away and make it simple. Doesn't need to be complicated. Outline their pain, outline the solution, and give them a call to action. Building a list for your target market using Sales Navigator. We didn't talk about a fraction of what Sales Navigator can do, but you can use it as a CRM, a client relation management software. It's not the best, but you can use it for that if you don't have a CRM, because you can save leads inside of it. You can put notes inside of it, reminders to call people, etc. So get some training on Sales Navigator. We have a little bit on our website, but there's so much out there. Just Google it. Ask to connect with them, and if you're really serious about prospecting, you need to ramp it to 75 to 125 a day. And you're saying, Darren, why 75 to 125 a day? Because we want to stay right at that 100 mark on average. And really, you can do this inside of LinkedIn consistently. There's not going to be any red flags. LinkedIn doesn't frown upon it. You are using Sales Navigator. You are able to do these kinds of numbers. We've tested the numbers. We're in the lab all the time testing and different messages, testing different strategies, and 75 to 125 is the safe mark for you. So obviously you can do less. Start doing something. So I would encourage you to do something. If it's 10, 20 a day, 30 a day, whatever it is, do something. And just ask for a conversation. That's all. 15 to 30% of those people, like clockwork, I'm not going to show you the numbers, but I can show you different clients. It's 15 to 30% always are going to connect with you. So those 15 to 30 are going to get that thanks for connecting message. And you really want to do is do this every day, Monday through Friday, to achieve those 3 to 5 warm to hot leads a week. Prospecting works, guys. So think of this as, I used to door knock for a living. I actually sold door to door and was very good at it. But think of this as, and I'm not saying you need a door knock, so don't get me wrong. Think of this as virtual door knocking. When you're out doing 75 to 125 connection requests a day. That's you door knocking on their profile saying, hey, I want to connect with you. Are you home? 15 to 30 are going to open their door. They're going to say, yeah, I'm home. 15 to 30 are going to get your soft pitch just like you would at the door, and they're going to get a call to action. Now, they're either going to say yay or nay, but what my numbers are very clear. It's 100 connection requests a day, 30 people are connecting, and that equals at least one sale or one lead each and every day. It's just a simple numbers game. I hate to boil it down like that. I was talking to an insurance sales guy recently, and I was telling him about the 130 to 1. He goes, that's great that you just mentioned that. That's exactly what they teach us when we're selling insurance. It's 130 to 1. So these numbers work. It's not just my numbers. It's as I just shared with you. These are real numbers. So update your profile, build your list, build messages that are conversational, that you would engage with. And what you need to do, and I didn't mention it, but you need to test, and then test some more. Your ongoing messages need to be tweaked, add a period, break the paragraph up, do different call to actions, but and finding that message that really converts best for you. Start connecting and get a conversation going. So I'm going to just show you. I know I had some messages here. I'm just going to show you what that looks like in real time. So for me, this is my message, and I want to go to Sales Navigator, and we're just going to show just a few. And I'm going to ask to connect with just a few here, right here in real time. So these are always going to be second and third connections. You can see right here in my search criteria, I don't want to be messaging my first degree, not for this purpose. This is for new business. So that's for a different time, and we do have a strategy for first degrees, but we're not going to be able to talk about that today. So let's talk about Eric. I want to connect with him. You come to LinkedIn, Sales Navigator, hit your connect. Again, this cannot be over 300 characters. If you are, it's going to tell you. It's not bashful. So make sure your message looks good too. Now, obviously this looks good, but when I say make sure it looks good, go to your messaging and make sure it looks formatted and it looks proper. So we're going to go ahead and send that message right now, and my invitation's been sent. We're going to rinse and repeat this. Let's go to Stacy. I'm just going to do 3 real quick just to show you. Let's go back. So sorry, bear with me. You guys are so patient. And I'm just going to do 2 for the interest of time here. So very simple to do, and you can see how I've done 2 while I'm talking in less than a minute. Can you do 30 of these a day? Can you do 50 of these a day? Absolutely. As they connect with you, let's go back to as they connect with you, you're going to see very clearly Nicholas is now a connection. Jay is now a connection. Not going to try to pronounce his name. He's a connection. Gerardo is now a connection. These are the ones you want to click on, and you want to drop that thanks for connecting message in here and hit send. Okay. Try not to use these, but get the conversation started is what it comes down to. So, like I said, we use LinkedIn to bridge the gap between lead generation. This is what I have a passion for. It's helping people. It's doing webinars like this to help people achieve this on their own. You certainly can do it on your own. It's very doable. Now, will it take you maybe an hour a day, maybe 5 hours a week, 10 hours a week? But if you do this on a consistent basis, you are going to fill your pipeline, which is very powerful. Now, we do this as a service. So I'm just going to talk about that for a brief second, and then we'll open it up to questions. But feel free to reach out to me. If you just Google LinkedIn Lead Ninja, I am on 10 spots. I'm on the entire first page. You'll see videos. You'll see our website. please don't do it now, but feel free to Google LinkedIn Lead Ninja. Once you're there, you'll see our done for you service. You'll see free training, the 3 to 5 leads on LinkedIn. This is another video training I do. We have free membership site as well. So there's a lot of resources here. We have a lot of articles pointing you in the right direction. So please use this as a resource. Feel free to reach out to me as well if you have any questions. I love to help people achieve their goals. So really, thank you. And is there any, open it up to any questions at this point, if there's any questions.
Thank you very much for such a fascinating presentation, folks. We are now open for the question and answer session. So if you have any questions, you can either put in the question box given at the end of the console, or you could equally raise your hand by clicking on the hand icon available on the webinar console. So let me go straight towards the question box. Darren, we have a question for you. That is, what kind of personalization should be included while writing an email message?
What kind of personalization should be in the messages? Is that the question?
Yes.
Thank you. I'm hard to hear you. Sorry. I typically do first name, and for my connect messages, if you can, and if you're very specific on your target, I would put the title. It just personalizes there. But first name, if you really want to get personal, you can say, if this is you, first name, connect, and let's do a quick call. That's where I leave it. And if you're doing testing and that's working great for you, I'd love to hear about it. So I just stick with the just the first name only. Does that answer your question? Excuse me.
Now, another one for you is that what is your experience with B2b sales on LinkedIn?
My experience with B2b sales on LinkedIn is people are doing real business on LinkedIn. So really, my experience is very good. So really the way I found this little niche that I work in here is by doing it for myself. And I kind of did it by accident. This is 3+ years ago. I was trying to generate leads, and I was using LinkedIn as the platform, and people were calling, people were emailing, people were just picking up the phone and calling me and say, hey, I want to talk to you. So my takeaway from that is people are doing real business on LinkedIn. My schedule is full of from my LinkedIn prospecting. So B2B, if you're like I said before, if you solve a real problem for your target market and your target market's on LinkedIn, this will work for you. So hope that answers your question.
For you is that how does I effectively use LinkedIn to find a job?
That is something I don't do. So that is a great question, but I'm unable to answer that. So there are definitely areas here where you can search for jobs, you can post a job, you can find a job. So inside of LinkedIn, there's many tools, but I work on prospecting. My goal is to help my clients get leads to sell their service or product. But so for my purpose, I don't want my profile to look like I'm looking for, because I'm not looking for a job. But obviously, if you're looking for a job, make sure your profile reflects that what you're looking for, and make it look like a resume. But if you're out prospecting, you want it to be in tune to your target market. So